Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
That's right. It's the TGIF edition. Thank God it's Friday.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
You better believe it's Friday.
I heard that.
That's right, because Friday is the best day of the week.
I know that's right.
And we're going to have one heck of a show. It's going to be a wild ride today. Buckle your seatbelt, and you better double strap yourself in, because let me tell you, if you don't, you might just fall right off your chair. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan.
How you doing?
I'm doing excellent on a Friday morning, and we're going to have a celebrity guest on the show too later on.
That's right. Bill Hutchinson from Marrying Millions is going to be here in the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about him and Bree and their relationship on the hit reality TV show Marrying Millions, which is on the Lifetime channel every Wednesday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern. So it promises to be a great interview. Huge age span between the two of them. But you know what? They're a cute little couple, I got to say.
We followed them through season 1, and we were delighted to see that they were also on season 2. I think one of the few couples that made it to like a second season because they were the ones that had been so popular. In fact, we thought they were a favorite throughout season 1, and through this season 2, they're probably my favorite once again. I know Gary's very excited, my better half, because he really likes Bill on the show. He really admires him.
Yeah.
So I know he's just going to be waiting he's like, wow, Bill, my favorite from Marrying Millions, is going live with Evan and Bonnie.
Yeah, it's cool because last week we had Rick on. From the Rick and Erica era. Rick is a retired gemologist, and they live on a yacht in Miami. So for season 2, we have you have, of course, Bill and Bree, Genty and Brian out in Las Vegas. And Genty is no longer with Brian. She's a real estate investor. She's all on her own now. You have Danny and Donovan. They're in Texas. Donovan runs a multi-million-dollar real estate company. You have Kevin and Katie from San Diego. They recently moved. Actually, Kevin recently moved to Vegas.
Yeah, she was all brokenhearted from that, I saw. I wonder if she gets up and moves and follows him like to Vegas.
She made the attempt, and she told him she wants to move to Vegas. And Kevin basically said they need to keep their separate lives for right now, and that just didn't sit too well. You have Noni and Reese. Noni is a London fashion scene person, and Reese is a skateboarder.
A long-haired, hippie-like 30-year-old skateboarder, and she's into fashion, and which I think her age is about 42 to that mid-40 range.
Yep, and then lastly, and not least, you have Rodney and Desiree. Rodney is from the wine industry business, but Rodney dropped a bombshell on Desiree like a week or two ago that he cheated on her six months ago.
Oh, she was upset.
She was pissed off. That's all I got to say.
Can
I say that on the air? Pissed off?
I think you can.
Yeah, she was pissed off. Let me tell you.
She poured his own wine on him.
She threw. Did you see them in the hot tub?
Yeah.
She just like slammed them with the champagne.
She did. But at least I got to give it to Rodney. When she asked him, did you ever cheat on me? At least he was honest about it.
I don't know. There's something I don't like about him. He's a snake. For some reason, there's something I just don't like about him. I think he's a little snake.
I think he's kind of funny.
He's got a funny look about him, too.
And I think he's really, kind of a funny guy. But you just kind of wonder if he's like playing her all along, or if he ever really does plan on marrying her. But it looks like when push came to shove and she packed her bags and he's bringing her to the airport, and it looks like they're never going to see each other again. He started rethinking that.
Yeah, he did. He on the last show, he asked her to meet him somewhere for dinner, and he set up this whole romantic dinner. And she's drinking the champagne, and there's an engagement ring in the glass of champagne, and she doesn't notice the ring in the bottom of the champagne. So he just obviously says, "Oh, you didn't see what's in your champagne?" I mean, let her drink the champagne and let it happen naturally, for God's sakes. Don't force it, don't force it upon somebody.
Well, I'm glad she didn't keep drinking it and like choke on the ring or something. My goodness.
Yeah.
But you know what? Oh, the show I think that upset me of late was I guess I was feeling the guy from San Diego who's an entrepreneur.
Oh, Kevin and Katie. Yeah.
Kevin, and he's going to move to Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's already moved.
And he's got his whole act together. I think he wants her to be some sort of entrepreneur too and get her own stuff going. But I was just dumbfounded by the fact that they only get together. They were getting together for dates like 3 times a month. So they're out to eat at a very fancy restaurant, and he just kind of made them go Dutch.
Yeah. Do you want to split the bill?
Yeah.
I mean, pardon me, but that's a big set of cojones. That's all I got to say. When I was always brought up, when you ask a woman out to dinner, you pay the bill. And especially when you're a self-made millionaire like Kevin is, and then do you want to go Dutch? I think we should split the bill. I mean, come on, slap the heck out of that guy, please.
Part of me, like, you're right. Part of me would be worried for her. What I like about him is like maybe he's got that type A personality and he would push her to do a little bit more and get a little bit more of her own and career minded. But then another part of me is wondering, wow, if they did get married, would he be really roughing up her self-esteem in the long run?
Yeah, she does seem like a little bit of a slacker. She doesn't really get out there and want to look for a job or anything like that. And I think that's his biggest concern, is because he doesn't want her living off of his wealth.
Yeah.
He wants her to be independent, which I get it. I fully understand that. He's a very young guy and he's a self-made millionaire and he's an entrepreneur. And if that was me, I wouldn't want, somebody living off of my money. I would want them to have their own job, their own career, their own money, etc., so on and so forth.
Which brings me to where I want to ask Bill today. So I've been wondering about Bill and Mr. Sykes, who we've had on the show, of these much older men with these younger women who aren't quite established yet.
Right.
I would like to ask Bill if maybe, he would think about pushing Bree to get an education, do something.
Well, maybe
for
she
Bree.
does. Maybe she already has her college education. She might, she was a hostess at a Tex-Mex restaurant.
Yeah.
And he just plucked her right out of the restaurant from hostess to girlfriend. So, different strokes for different folks. The age number doesn't matter to me because Rachel and I are 15, 16 years apart. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, I was just raising my 3 kids on my own until I met Rachel, and I really didn't, have a pot to pee in or anything like that. I wasn't making a lot of money. I was just barely getting by, and Rachel loved me for who I am and what I am, not what I have and materialistic things. So I think that's the whole premise behind it as far as Bill and Bree goes. I don't think Bree's a gold digger. I don't think Erica is a gold digger. Maybe there's one of them that may be a gold digger that has a gold digger side to them. I'm not going to say which one, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And I'm not really being prudish about the age difference, but I guess I can see where I think if I was sitting in Dad's shoes up in, where are they from? Iowa. They're very Midwest. And so the dad of Erica is her name. If I were in his shoes too, I would be very concerned as, my daughter living on this great yacht in Fort Lauderdale. And I would be concerned about her doing her own thing too and getting her own education going.
Well, in the last episode, Rick did travel to Springfield, Illinois, and sat down with Erica's father, and they had a very heart-to-heart conversation, and he apologized to Erica's dad for not following the proper protocol, which in Rick's mind, he didn't think he had to, but in Erica's mind, yes, she's old-fashioned. So they apologized. They had a conversation. Erica's grandmother was there during the whole conversation. Erica's grandmother was kind of on Rick's side, so to speak, standing up for Rick. And then Erica's dad kind of softened up a little bit, just a tad
little.
bit, just a little bit. And he said, maybe, I can accept your apology, but it really depends on how long this engagement is going to be. So I think, in my humble opinion, Erica's father is going to come around, and if and when they do get married, Erica's dad will attend and will walk Erica down the aisle.
Kudos to Erica for standing her ground
Yeah.
and saying my family up north is important to me.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
going to be a part of my life.
Exactly. And something else that Rick told Erica's dad too was that Erica doesn't have the ring on anymore. And I think Erica's father was shocked at that. And because he didn't know, he was like, I didn't know that, is what he said. So I think that kind of put a little bit more respect there in Erica's father's eyes, because Erica took the ring off and handed it back to Rick until Rick got Erica's father's blessing so they could get married. I feel like I'm a soap opera review person, and I should be playing this kind of music as we're talking about it.
I know.
Because it's like, maybe I should be a critic and one of those Hollywood reporters. I know so much about this.
Like E! True Hollywood Story or something.
Exactly.
Ooh, I started to watch one. I'd like to zoom through YouTube once in a while, and I got to finish it. I found the E! True Hollywood Story on Linda Blair.
Oh,
the girl.
That's the girl that turned her head around 360 degrees in The Exorcist.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She's freaky.
It's like, no, actually, she's a really down to earth lady.
Well, I mean, in the movie, she was freaky.
In the movie, she was.
I thought she was freaky.
She was extremely freaky, but she was only. But she wasn't even in ninth grade. It was her year before ninth grade when they had been filming The Exorcist.
Okay.
And it took like a year and a half to finish filming, and all this stuff went on like during it, some weird things that went on when they were filming the movie. And
I have weird things happen in my house all the time. Things move. I told you the story about the rocker and the cross. Did I ever tell you about that?
That cross kind of flying in midair
flew off the shelf. My daughter was home and it flew off the shelf onto the couch.
Yikes.
All by itself. True story. And then the rocking chair just going by itself back and forth and back and forth.
Your house is not very old though, is it?
It's 11 years old.
That's not.
It has my father's presence in it. That's why things like that happen.
And did your father like to sit in that rocker?
That was his chair. That's the only piece of furniture that we kept from my dad, was his rocking chair. It sits in the corner in my bedroom, and I haven't seen it move lately. And watch, just luck would have it, when I go home today, that damn thing's going to move.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Kaya sits in it all the time.
Yeah, that's a little spooky.
Yeah.
I know I have a friend who was taking pictures in her house of the new house that they moved into, and in some of the pictures you can see these orbs.
Orbs. What's an orb?
An orb is like a.
Should I Google it?
A round circle-ish light, like a glowing light.
Okay.
They call it an orb, and some of them have.
Is that short for ghost?
Like showed up in her pictures. I don't know if an orb, considering there could be like a ghost behind it and showing like and who's to say if it's a ghost or not or what it is? But several of her pictures have had this sort of orb in the picture, which is rather strange. I know that in our house, I haven't found anything that strange. But you know what, Evan? I'll tell you a weird story, which happened to us one night when we first got Jack Frosty.
Tell me, please.
So Jack Frosty was 7 when I got him from the animal shelter in Palm City. I really had no idea where Jack Frosty came from. They had told me maybe somebody had allergies and had to get rid of Jack. But I brought him home as a 7-year-old kitty. So we were lying on the floor. We had blankets out on the floor in the living room. Gary and I watching TV, and Jack's first night in the house, he was in the kitchen. He was in the kitchen eating his kitty food, and all of a sudden we heard click, 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 like these high-heeled shoes clicking and stomping all over our kitchen floor.
Really?
And we both heard it. We looked at each other and we said, "What the heck is that?" And all of a sudden, Jack Frosty comes, white as a ghost as he is, comes flying out of the kitchen. So part of me, with my huge imagination, I wonder, did he have a prior owner? Maybe that was a lady, maybe some sort of old lady that wore high heel shoes.
Right, exactly.
Maybe she's chasing him away to say, go with this family now.
Yeah.
This family's going to be okay.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to Michael Cooperman. He's watching on the show. And also Mark Hales, our friend from England. He just messaged me. Guess what's happening in England, Bonnie?
Is it raining?
Well, it's more than raining. It's raining cats and dogs. And his roof is leaking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, his roof is leaking, he says.
I wish
So he says it's raining indoors.
I wish we could
I told him to get an umbrella out.
We could send Code Red roofers his way.
Yeah,
that'd be
one hell of an expensive bill.
Yeah. I don't know.
Send them over to do a new roof. Yeah. Okay. 6:22. That's on the Friday show. Fun Friday, as we'll call it. We're having fun this morning, talking all about marrying millions.
And ghosts.
And ghosts and cats and all sorts of things. Let's go to the news desk and get some real news this morning. Here's Bonnie.
Well, Evan, the big breaking story of the morning, after testing positive for coronavirus, President Trump is clearing his schedule, and that includes a rally scheduled for tonight in Central Florida. Trump was to speak at Orlando Sanford International Airport, but that event is canceled. And Trump tweeted just after midnight that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus and are in quarantine together. Now, the new school district superintendent is one step closer to starting his tenure. The school board Thursday passed John Millay's superintendent 3-year contract, which included an annual salary of $170,000. The contract also includes a $10,000 stipend for moving and temporary housing. I'm very happy to be here, Millay said. I look forward to working together as we move on to that next level. I take this opportunity very seriously. And he is scheduled to begin on November 17. Well, a new Publix store will be built on Southwest Canner Highway, but it could be 7 years before it opens its doors in Martin County. Developers have 5 years to get approval of final plans and another 2 years to get it built. The project, initially proposed in 2010, was approved 4-1 by County Commissioners September 15. Commissioner Sarah Hurd, the lone dissenter, expressed concerns about wetlands in the area. It's the camel's nose under the tent, said Hurd. It's beginning the urbanization of significant Martin County. Publix representatives could not be reached for comment despite an attempt by phone. Commissioners in May had rezoned the site for commercial use. It previously was designated partially for agricultural use. For the third week in a row, the Army Corps of Engineers says no Lake Okeechobee water will be discharged to the St. Lucie for now. Discharges are still possible. Colonel Andrew Kelly, the Corps commander in Florida, said Thursday in a call-in news conference, but the chances decrease as the rainy season and hurricane season come to a close at the end of November. We might not have to discharge any water at all this year, Kelly said. That all depends on Mother Nature and what kind of weather that we have coming up. And lastly, country music star Mac Davis, who launched his career crafting the Elvis Presley hits A Little Less Conversation and In the Ghetto, and whose own hits include Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me, has died. He was 78. Davis' longtime manager Jim Morey says Davis died in Nashville on Tuesday after heart surgery and was surrounded by family and friends. Davis had a long and varied career in music for decades as a writer, singer, actor, TV host, was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame 2006. He was named 1974's Entertainer of the Year by the Academy of Country Music and has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And a little rundown of our Major League Baseball scores from yesterday. Well, the Atlanta Braves beating Cincinnati Reds 5-0. The Chicago White Sox fell to Oakland 6-4. And the Padres over the Cardinals 11-9. And it was 3-0. The LA Dodgers beating the Brewers. News time at 6:26. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:27 the time on a fun Friday right here on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for Traffic Call brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we're not seeing any accidents to report. Just keep in mind an update for St. Lucie County and White City. Now from Midway Road to 25th Street, Midway Road from US 1. There's some flooding on that roadway, and in Midway down into the 25th Street area, you're going to see some flooding. So drivers, you're asked to use US 1 or I-95 as an alternate. There's your latest look at traffic. It is 75 in Stewart, and in St. Andrews, Scotland, it's 51. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Friday, my sunshines. Temperatures this morning starting off in the low to mid 70s. A few showers and a couple of thunderstorms possible for that morning drive. Highs today in the low 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and another round of scattered showers and storms. Some of those storms could produce locally heavy rainfall. Tonight, mainly dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms possible with rounds of heavier rainfall. Highs in the low 80s, but feeling like the upper 80s. A flood watch remains in place for St. Lucie and Martin counties until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The Get Up and Go Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give us a call at any time. Now let's get back to the program. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Where has the time gone?
Today is Friday.
End of the week.
End of the week.
End of the week.
Is it Friday already? God, I really need a break here.
Let's start this weekend.
What do you got planned for the weekend?
A lot of drinking. Yeah, there's a lot of drinking. A lot of drinking. That seems healthy.
That is not healthy.
It's fun.
Just fun.
Just fun.
The sooner we start, the sooner we finish.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do this.
Showtime. It's showtime. And I don't recommend drinking, especially this early in the morning, because it could really affect you.
Oh!
I mean, seriously affect you.
You know,
It can impair your brushing of your teeth.
I've had those rum runners on the mind ever since I had one last Saturday with my friends Jody and Rob.
Yeah.
And like I've never had really a rum runner, but I just love the flavor and everything.
Okay.
So Okay, so like I give my friend Jody some awesome perfume from Avon. It's
Okay.
my elixir, some elixir it's called.
All right.
It has that really good autumn smell. So
You know, Fredo has a rum runner service. It's called Fredo's Rum Runners.
he's got to bring me some then.
Yeah, maybe we can hopefully hear from him in a little while, and he'll let us know if he can bring some rum runners by.
That would be great.
Fredo's Rum Runner service.
So she texted me and said, thank you for the awesome perfume. And, I meant to send her a text and say, thank you for
And who is this?
the awesome rum runners. My friend Jody.
Where's
was-
Jody live?
She lives in Port St. Lucie.
She awake this early?
She was celebrating. She's the girl that we called a week ago Friday
Oh.
for her birthday.
Okay.
And
We could call and thank her on the air.
so like she said, thank you for the perfume. And I wanted to text her back. I can't seem to forget you. Those rum runners stay
Okay.
on my mind.
Okay.
If
Well,
you-
write her phone number down. I'll call her a little later on in the show because it is a little early. Unless you want me to call her now.
I don't know.
You think she's up this early?
She's probably getting ready for her really busy day.
Okay.
I thought I remembered her phone number offhand, but I got to look in my phone too. So if you want to give her a call a little later on,
All right, you
she
just
probably-
keep that number over there. You let me know
Okay.
when I have your permission to call her, and then I will do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that I can't believe what's in them a rum runner, man. There's so many different alcohols involved. It's more than rum, it's-
Yeah, there's a lot of liquor in there.
I think it's some blackberry brandy or
Did you
some
Google
sort
it?
of
What's in a
thing,
rum
too.
runner?
Yeah, I did
Google what's in a
before.
rum runner. Oh, I just went deaf in my right ear.
Pineapple juice.
My right ear just went like I hear nothing.
Isn't that
Yeah.
weird?
That's weird. Now it's back. Wow, that was wicked.
Yeah, that's
My headphones are possessed.
kind of weird when that
There's
does.
freaky things happening this morning.
Because it's October 2nd and it's that Halloween month, so we're probably gonna be getting a few ghosts here in the machine.
Yeah, and then some.
So
Go
let's
ahead.
see. Without
What's in a rum runner?
some pineapple juice,
Okay.
of course, a blackberry brandy,
Right.
rum,
Okay.
delightful. That's all the ingredients I have right now.
Okay.
But they had it like slushied, like it was a cold slushy.
Oh, they made a
kind of-
frozen rum runner.
It was frozen.
Okay, they made the frozen
Yeah.
like a frozen pina colada or a frozen strawberry daiquiri. That's what they did.
Oh, it was yummy.
Okay.
Just like wow,
All right.
delicious.
We have a blender at home. We also have this this magic bullet. So maybe what I'll do is bring in some rum runner mix, and we'll mix up and make a rum run. I don't drink, so maybe I'll mix up a rum runner for you, and you can have a rum runner while you're broadcasting.
I don't know if we're allowed
Sure, you
legally
can.
to do.
You're allowed to do that. It's legal. It's legal.
FCC
It's okay.
ruling.
No, it's okay. You can
Yeah,
do it.
I don't know.
You're okay.
It would taste good. It would have to be a morning where I have everything. Like
Well, we'd have to do it like
complete-
it's 6, so it wears off by 9 because you have to drive. I wouldn't want you
Yeah.
driving out of here under the influence.
the news girl would probably be taking a nap and
Yeah, the
resting her head
the
for
news
sure.
would become very interesting with you drinking a rum runner.
I
It
suppose.
definitely would. And speaking of news, let's do some viral videos. Let's head out to Eagle Grove, Iowa. That's a interesting place to be.
Eagle
Eagle
Grove.
Grove, Iowa.
Okay.
Do you know where that is? Because I damn sure don't.
I don't know where that is in Iowa.
Okay.
I
All
sure
right.
don't.
A drunk woman in Eagle Grove, Iowa, was in her bedroom when she started to stumble, but her golden retriever was right there on the job. He got up on his hind legs and put his paws on her body and helped her sit down safely on her bed.
Wow.
Now, there's no audio with this video, so you have to envision this. All right, let me set the stage. A woman drunk stumbling around her bedroom. Okay, a woman drunk stumbling around her bedroom, and she's about to fall. And the golden retriever gets up on its hind legs, wraps its paws around her, and Mike Hyatt does that all the time. She hugs me all the time. Wraps its paws around her and helps her sit down on the bed so she don't fall.
Oh, can you? That dog was like a human helping
Yeah.
her out there.
Exactly.
I mean, getting right up on its hind legs and
Yeah.
then like pushing her.
Yes.
And that was a complete
Now, mind you, it was a female dog, just so you know. So I don't want anybody to think that it was a male and it was trying to hump her or anything like that.
That female dog wants to become a nurse in another life.
I have no idea what it wanted to do, but that's a pretty amazing video.
That's really, really cool. The dog, assumed that she was going to fall over.
Yeah.
Saw that the girl, she looks a little bit, she looks more than a little bit tipsy in the video.
Just a tad bit.
And her
maybe she had too many rum runners.
Retriever there to help her out.
Yeah, exactly. A mom posted video of herself warning parents who have a PayPal account tied to their phone. She let her toddler use her phone one day, and he ordered a live sulcata tortoise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they grow to be well over 100 pounds and can live for up to 100 years. So here's the mom's viral video warning people.
Friendly PSA for anybody who has their PayPal account attached to their phone and they let their toddler use it. I got a package today that says live animal on it. So I open it up, and what do you know? Maddox purchased a turtle. He purchased a sulcata turtle that grows up to 100 pounds and lives over 100 freaking years.
How about that one?
She's pretty brave to open the package in the first place. She considered already that there was something live in the package.
Now, mind you, this turtle is in the palm of her hand.
Yeah.
And it's covering the entire palm of her hand. Okay. This turtle's going to grow up to be 100 years old and 100 pounds. Could you imagine having a 100-pound turtle in your house walking around?
Well, you would have to build a fence or, some kind of pen outside. You'd have to have plenty of room in your backyard. I had a Galapagos turtle one time.
Whatchamus?
Galapagos.
What is Galapagos?
From the island of Galapagos.
Okay.
It's a kind of turtle. She got fairly large. That wasn't one of those huge turtles that you could ride upon.
Okay.
But
I wouldn't ride a turtle. You couldn't pay me enough.
She is now, we had to let her go. So she is now at a farm at a nice sanctuary in Palm City.
Okay.
Out with a gentleman where I went to visit his farm like some years ago to see all the animals
Turtle
there
farm.
and such.
Okay.
Turtles and macaws. He has
all kinds of animals.
I think there
He's
were
got a zoo.
A couple of donkeys.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Plenty of. But I know that my Shelly, my turtle is now living at that nice farm, and she has all the space in the world.
Rights? Can you go visit the turtle? I mean, you were fostering the turtle.
I know. I haven't gotten to see her in a while.
Okay.
But rest assured, I'm sure she's all right. And turtles do live they can live years and years.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
There's a girl who demonstrates her talent of putting out candles by screaming at them, Bonnie.
Oh.
It's a video going viral. Then she takes a step back and screams again and accidentally bangs her head on the chandelier. kind of reminiscent of what you did the other day with your noggin.
Wow.
All right, so let's listen to the audio here. Here we go. And there was her banging her head on the chandelier.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ouch.
How about that one?
Yeah, she's going to have to take a few aspirin after that. Wonder why she wants to scream at her candles.
That was a noggin knocker.
Yeah.
I don't know why she wanted to scream at her candles. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know, but it's like insane. People doing just about anything, to get those viral videos out nowadays.
I don't know. Pretty damn interesting. That's all I got to say.
Maybe like if she had a birthday party, she would scream blowing out her birthday candles too, and then we all would lose our hearing.
I don't know. I simply just don't know. I just don't get it. I just simply don't understand. It makes no sense. It really does.
I can't wait to get some more candles going around my home. I want to get some really good ones. My girlfriend at work told me that, I don't know if it's Bath and Body Works or Bed Bath and Beyond.
Okay, it's one of those places.
But
probably.
she said there is a place out in Tradition where at the start of the year,
it's Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works. They have one day where they set all of their candles in the store at one very nice price.
Oh, okay.
That's what she told me, and that's usually like at the start of December.
Okay.
So I have to go there for some candles.
All right, very good. Did you know, according to a recent survey, almost half of women say a beautiful house is the ultimate status symbol?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, you set the standard for the neighborhood when you keep your house right.
Did you know that even though it's important to our safety, there's still around 40% of us that ignore food recalls? So here's the thing. I have food that's in my freezer that's frozen. And I figure if it's frozen in the freezer, it's good. That's just my philosophy. I don't have time to go look and see if something's been recalled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like even if
Like if chopped meat's recalled,
yeah.
I don't have time to go through my whole freezer. I have a deep freeze at home.
Oh.
And it's full of food.
So that deep
I just simply don't have time.
You're thinking the deep freeze would take care of it anyway if
Yeah,
it had
because you know
any-
what? If the chopped meat's recalled, I'm going to cook it on the stove. I'm going to cook it on the oven, and the grease and the heat, it's going to burn all that crap out of there.
Okay.
So I figured it'll be good.
Yeah, that could be true. I think you have to take like more precautions, like if the lettuce is recalled, and
Yeah.
like I know a while back some of that salad lettuce that the salad kit lettuce that I love to buy, there was a recall on that for a while going on.
Yeah, well, if the lettuce is recalled, then maybe we should let us throw it away.
Oh.
There you go. That's my joke for the morning.
I love it.
Did you know it's estimated that more than 1 in 10 dogs has swallowed a shoelace? 1 in
Ooh.
10 dogs have swallowed a shoelace.
Oh yeah, they love the shoes, don't they?
I guess.
Dogs do like to rip up shoes, and my cats love shoes too.
My dog likes very strange things. She got up on the counter the other day and she got a hold of this squishy thing that we bought to wash glasses. It's kind of a sponge thing, and it's got a long handle about this long, and it's a round sponge thing. And for some reason, she got up on the counter, took it into the dining area, and she chewed on it a little bit.
Oh.
And we found little fragments of the sponge around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck are you doing?
they make messes. And yeah, I told you the other morning too, I was doing my show prep, and Kitty likes to get right by my computer. Hansi does, and lay
Right.
down by it.
Mhm.
So I'm in the bathroom for like 2 minutes, and then I come out to see that all of my show prep papers are
Oh, that was destroyed when you showed me that.
yeah.
They were just like they were obliviated.
Yeah, and you should have seen the mess he made on my floor with the paper. He was like a little paper shredder.
Did
that
you
morning.
spank him?
No.
Did you scold him?
I shoo him away.
Did you scold him? Did you yell?
Nah.
Oh, you got to discipline somehow.
He's baby. I just shoo him away and I said, "Get out of here for now."
Jeez. All right. Did you know a survey found that 31% of couples have never gone on a romantic trip together? And get this, the average couple only spends 7 minutes a day being romantic.
Oh.
So
Huh.
that's a very interesting stat.
Yeah.
Have
7
you and Gary
minutes.
ever gone on a romantic trip together?
A romantic trip together? Yeah,
Yes.
we have.
Where'd you go?
We went to the Marriott in Palm Beach,
Okay.
West Palm Beach Marriott.
Okay.
And I love that hotel over
Okay.
there. I'm telling you, I love their
Stayed overnight?
huge elevators.
Stayed overnight there?
I think we stayed 2 or 3 nights
Okay.
there.
Now, which Marriott? Did you go to the one on PGA, the one on Okeechobee?
I think
Which one?
I think it was. I want to say PGA.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
PGA Boulevard and I-95. That's the Palm Beach Gardens Marriott.
I think that's anyway. This one had an elevator that went up 4 stories of floors.
Okay.
It was just really nice, really posh.
Okay.
And we stayed there for like a seminar too, because he had to get his credits, CEUs for. We have to do continuing education.
Right, for massage.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So this way you keep your license and keep everything valid.
Yeah. So like
people don't call you a masseuse or a masseur.
right.
You're a massage
Massage
therapist.
therapist,
See, I
yep.
got that one right.
And then it's kind of neat that you can get your CEUs that way, because you can make a little vacation out of it, make a little fun out
There
of
you
it
go.
too.
Lastly, Bonnie, did you know that when it comes to the holidays, almost half of us say that money is no object when it comes to staying in a hotel rather than with the relatives?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that, sometimes that house can get just a little small.
Nah, I don't think so.
We'll have to ask Bill that today, because with Bill and Bree, and I know I saw on the show there was a relative
Yeah, the
that
mom stayed there.
moved in.
Yeah, the mom stayed there, and Bill was not happy about that because the mom came with the dogs, and the dog peed on his Persian rug that was in his office. and he was not a very happy camper.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him if the house seemed to get bigger or smaller when she came.
Yeah, definitely so. It is 6:47 on the Get Up and Go show on a fun Friday. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The big news story this morning after testing positive for coronavirus, President Trump is clearing his schedule, and that includes a rally scheduled for tonight in Central Florida. Trump was to speak at Orlando Sanford International Airport, but that event is canceled. Trump tweeted just after midnight that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus and are in quarantine together. A friendly reminder from Florida's top elections official.
If you're not already a registered voter and you want to vote in November's election, the deadline to register is October 5th, next week.
Florida Secretary of State Laurel Lee says there are a number of convenient ways to register to vote, including going online to registertovoteflorida.gov. That planned rally in Sanford had drawn the ire of a Central Florida congresswoman. Democrat Stephanie Murphy said thousands of would be rallying in support of a president who is trying to take away their health care.
Healthcare is a right, not a privilege in normal times. And healthcare in a pandemic is central to our recovery as a economy and as a country.
Murphy says the president's nominee for the Supreme Court could be the vote that overturns critical parts of the Affordable Care Act. More than 2,600 new COVID-19 cases are being reported in Florida. The Department of Health also announced 127 additional deaths. So a parade in Martin County surprises a teen at a Wawa before deployment. Elizabeth Thompson didn't understand why her employment scheduled her to work the day before she was to be deployed with the U.S. National Guard. Nonetheless, Thompson showed up to work her Thursday morning shift at the Wawa in Stewart at the corner of US 1 and Johnson Avenue. When family members and off-the-clock coworkers started showing up at the store, Thompson started getting confused, but she didn't think twice when managers asked her to take out the garbage. A line of vintage cars, motorcycles, policemen, and even a tank started filling into the Wawa's parking lot, sirens blaring at about 10:30 a.m. Thompson waved back, initially not knowing the parade was for her. Now, for the third week in a row, the Army Corps of Engineers says no Lake Okeechobee water will be discharged to the St. Lucie River for now. Discharges are still possible. Colonel Andrew Kelly, the Corps commander for Florida, said Thursday in a call-in news conference, but the chances decrease as the rainy season and hurricane season come to a close at the end of November. We might not have to discharge any water at all this year, Kelly said. That all depends on Mother Nature and what kind of weather that we have coming up. Now, lastly, the new school superintendent is one step closer to starting his tenure in Martin County. The school board Thursday passed John Millet's superintendent 3-year contract, which included an annual salary of $170,000. The contract also includes a $10,000 stipend for moving and temporary housing. I'm very happy to be here, Millet said. I look forward to working together as we move on to the next level. I take this responsibility very seriously. He is expected to begin on November 17. The Heat may be without 2 starters for Game 2 tonight against the Lakers in the NBA Finals in Orlando. Guard Goran Dragic and center Bam Adebayo are listed as doubtful after they exited the 18-point Miami last Wednesday with injuries. News time is 6:51. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:52 on a fun Friday on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, both for Barton and St. Lucie County, we're not looking at any accidents, but you might want to avoid the area in White City, Midway Road from US 1 to 25th Street. In that area, some flooding, and motorists are asked to use US 1 or I-95 as an alternate. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 75 in Port St. Lucie. And also this morning in Eagle Grove, Iowa, 30 degrees and clear sky. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Friday, my sunshines. Temperatures this morning starting off in the low to mid 70s. A few showers and a couple of thunderstorms possible for that morning drive. Highs today in the low 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and another round of scattered showers and storms. Some of those storms could produce locally heavy rainfall. Tonight, mainly dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms possible with rounds of heavier rainfall. Highs in the low 80s, but feeling like the upper 80s. A flood watch remains in place for St. Lucie and Martin counties until 4 p.m. on Saturday. TV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
We sat inside, we laughed, we cried, we weren't allowed to leave. Our pantry stacked so many snacks, we gained our COVID-19. No more shaking hands, cancel all our plans, I will always love Zoom. Every one of us on the struggle bus, I will always love Zoom. And this year is like a wrecking ball. How is it already the fall? At least we still have football. Yeah, 2020, you wrecked me. You wrecked me.
Yeah, this year is pretty much like a wrecking ball, Bonnie.
It is.
All hell is just broken loose everywhere.
At least we do have some shining light with the NFL being back on, and they're going to be
and baseball,
like moving into their 4th week. Baseball being back too.
Yeah.
So there's like some bright lights with that.
Yeah. Here we are, 9 months into 2020, and everything's gone to hell in a handbag. We'll just say.
Well, things are just wide open then to get better. I'm sure.
Yeah. All we need to do is play the Dixie Chicks, or should I say, the Chicks is what they're called now. Their song "Wide Open Spaces."
Oh yeah, the Chicks, and
they're called the Chicks now.
I don't think it's Lady Antebellum anymore.
No,
I
it's
think
just Lady A.
Lady A. Yeah. They had a big fight too with the real Lady A, who tended to be out in like New York City. There's a lady that goes by Lady A.
Yeah.
So I think Lady Antebellum had to
There's
fight
just all
to get
sorts of weird crap going on
to get the rights to that one too.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, folks, we're going to step back for just a moment because we have to. Not that we want to, but we have to. That's because the network news is coming up and it cuts us off, but that's all right because you'll be entertained for another 2 hours right after the news right here at WSTU Stewart. We are Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then on a fun Friday, it's Evan and Bonnie on the Get Up and Go show. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
7:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. It's a fun Friday.
You my baby's daddy.
I am not your baby's daddy.
Yeah, man.
I am not the baby's father. What do you think? It's a big joke? No, I am not the baby's father.
Oh, come on. Quit denying it.
I'm not.
You know, you are certainly
What do you
in
think? This is
denial
an edition
about
of
that
Maury
one.
Povich or something?
You know, but Maury Povich, it strikes me as odd that whenever you watch that show, I don't know how he keeps anybody glued, because it's the same show every day.
That's right. It's all DNA tests.
Every single day,
24/7.
you're watching the same show, just different actors and characters.
Either you are or you're not the baby's father.
Yeah, and you know, after a while, aren't these people saying, who the heck cares?
I know, right? It's kind of like watching Jerry Springer.
Oh.
Same crap, different day.
Yeah, at least Jerry seemed to have different themes of kind of oddball, out of the
That's an
ordinary
understatement,
sort
oddball.
of people on. But Povich just had, just back with that same theme time after time.
Yeah.
Testing that DNA.
Yeah, we have phones right now. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Hey, Evan, Bonnie. It's your mate from across the pond.
Hey, it's Mark. Mark from England. Hey, how are you?
Wet. It's wet. It's damp. It's windy. It's English weather.
Wow.
Oh.
You have a little bit of a roof problem, I understand.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's basically we've got a join on a flat roof on an extension at the back of the house. Seems to be pooling up there. And it's just a case of getting up there when the weather's dry and slapping down some sealer. Of course, I could use your people, but as you said, it might be a bit pricey on just the travelling.
Yeah, you know, we could send Code Red Roofers over there for you, but it might just be a little on the expensive side.
I think I'll risk the ladder and a pot of tar.
That's it. You're going to do it yourself?
Yeah, I'll do it myself. Yeah, I'm cheap, Evan. I'm cheap. You don't get to 57 years old by spending lots of money in England.
Wow.
You better do it fast, because we don't want anything getting moldy in that area of your house and having you breathing that.
It'll all be fine. It's just regular maintenance. I'm sure you know Florida weather and the rain that you had. You've got to keep on top of it, and I just haven't kept on top of it the last 2 years. I knew it was coming. Today I came into the kitchen. It's not pouring. It's just an annoying, a few drips coming along a joint. So we'll get there this weekend.
But a few drips could turn into a couple of ounces, which could turn into gallons of water, and before you know it, you've got a swimming pool in your home.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We'll just put an electric heater in it and have a heated swimming pool. You've got to think positive. You've got to, in this day of COVID and other nasties, you've got to be positive. Put a positive spin on everything. So how are you two anyway?
You know, we're doing good, Mark. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day. It's going to rain a little bit here in Stuart, Florida. I just got an alert on my weather bug that said heavy rain will start in approximately 10 to 15 minutes, but otherwise, that's really about it. Let me ask you a question, Mark. Do you guys follow? Did you guys happen to catch the debate on TV the other night, just out of curiosity?
No, I didn't.
Good. Be thankful you didn't.
A few highlights on the news.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. Trust me. Okay.
No,
it was a mess.
No.
It was a hot
American
mess.
politics is about as complicated as it gets sometimes. We've got our own problems at the moment, so I'm sort of. I like to juggle between the two. I like to try and understand American politics, because I'm a big Americanophile. I love Americans. I love America.
Right.
But sometimes I think to myself, I know it's left and right, the same as the UK, same as many countries, and maybe I always sit just slightly right of centre. So I try to tie up your right side with our right side and how they might be similar or different. That's about as far as I go with the politics. I'll never go much further than that.
I would hope you sit more to the right, because the simple fact, if you're sitting on the left, then your car is driving by itself.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we drive on the right side.
Yes.
Because the clue is in the word, isn't it? Right.
Yes.
Now, didn't you have Tony Blair as your leader one time? Was he like a prime minister or something?
Yeah, Tony Blair. I mean, I actually voted for Tony Blair and the New Labour, which was a left-wing party, which is quite contrary to what I've just said. But, you know, at the end of the day, the younger politicians in this country seem to be for the younger politicians. That's on that. Whereas, you know, back when I was younger, and the older politicians who were a lot older than I was at the time, you sort of had more respect. You always agreed. You just had more respect. But Tony Blair, I voted for him. I liked him in the beginning. It all went wrong, and then he was taken over by Gordon Brown, who I thought was absolutely useless as a prime minister.
All right.
And so I then started voting the other way. And, I brought in David Cameron and then, of course, Theresa May and now Boris Johnson.
Let me ask you a question. Do you watch any reality television over in England? Does the show Marrying Millions come on over there?
That show I've heard of, we haven't actually seen that one. My daughters are probably the reality fanatics. I tend to be more highbrow. I tend to watch science shows, that sort of thing, or comedies. You know, I like a bit of comedy. But I know the show that you're talking about, and I actually listened to your interview last week. I thought that was quite amusing.
Well, you'll have to listen today because there's another one that's going to be on at 8 o'clock in an hour from now. Bill Hutchinson, who is married to a 20-something-year-old. He is 62. He's going to be on the program a little bit later on this morning talking about his relationship and how they survive. And speaking of surviving, how is COVID over there in England? What's the latest update there?
COVID in England, it's really concentrated in the north of England. We have local lockdowns and area lockdowns. And really, the north of England, there's almost a dividing line between the east and west. And anything sort of, about 100 miles north of London starts to get bad. Where I live, the maps all show green. Now, I'm not big on statistics through this COVID thing, but it's not too bad where I live. You don't hear of it much. People are mixing and mingling as much as they are allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
It really seems to be the north of England that seems to be hitting it hard, but that could also be the youngsters who are just not playing the game and just mingling and spreading it amongst themselves. They're keeping us in the south safe. But I was actually going to come back to your story, if I may, on the Marrying the Millions, because I think I mentioned in our chat, when I was 26, I was dating a 47-year-old woman who was 4 years older than my mum. That was a very interesting time.
What did your mom have to say about that?
Yeah, really?
Well, at the time,
did she say "attaboy"?
And she was she liked Diane, but she didn't like the idea of it. That's all. She sort of knew that it was going to be one of those passing things that would just come and go. I was young. She was older and divorced.
So she was a
cougar. I think we was just experimenting both ends of the spectrum. And it lasted 3 months. But it was a good thing when it ended because I met the lady who on this Wednesday I've just shared my silver wedding anniversary with. So I've been with Joanne for 31 years.
Wow.
And this Wednesday just gone was our 25th wedding anniversary. So it was all good in the end.
Oh, my, 25 years. Well, we got to give you a round of applause for that one.
That's impressive.
Jeez. What's your secret? Because my 21st wedding anniversary is coming up in exactly 8 days from now.
Yeah, Evan doesn't know if he's going to make it.
Oh, of course I'm going to make it, Bonnie. What are you saying?
My secret is I do as I'm told.
Oh, okay. So you go by the motto that I go by, which is called "Happy Wife, Happy Life."
Yeah, that's it. I've got many hobbies, pastimes, and fascinations. I drag race motorcycles. I'm an amateur radio enthusiast. I do lots of hobbies, and I'm sort of left alone when it's right to be left alone, and that makes me happy. And of course, when we get round to leaking roofs and other jobs that are around the house, so long as they get done and we're not washed out of our house or burned down or anything like that, then it's all good. And of course, you tell her every morning that you love her, you tell her every evening that you love her, and you just make sure that you've got nice big pockets. Every now and again.
Do you ever get that honey-do list every morning? Like, honey, could you do this? And honey, could you do that?
Yes, like fix the roof.
I wouldn't say the morning. I'd say that was a 24-hour thing.
And when she says honey do you usually do it? Are you right on it?
There's sometimes the issue. I wouldn't say I was right on it, Bonnie, but eventually is good enough. So long as you turn around and say, well, you didn't say right at this second, did you? So we can get away with it. After all these years, we know how to manipulate each other, to keep each other happy.
Wow, that's amazing. 25-year anniversary and 31 together.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now, is your wife a homemaker or does she work also like yourself?
Well, she's a registered childminder. So effectively, several days a week, our house becomes almost a playground for small children under the age of 11.
Okay.
So she is a housewife and a homemaker, but she's also like part-time worker looking after other people's children that have to go to work in the outside world. And I'm a Renaissance man as well. I'm a good house husband. I like to cook. I don't mind cleaning. And I think that's the other good secret is, you share the workload and there isn't a his and hers anymore. It's everyone's responsibility. The only problem I've got is a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old daughters, and they seem to think the other way. They seem to think, we'll sit here and watch TV because mum and dad will do it. And, and of course, the Bank of Dad. We've got the Bank of Dad as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the bank. I've heard of the Bank. I've heard of the Bank of Dad. Yeah, and you probably have what's called the money tree in your backyard, also growing, right?
I think it's never ending.
That's it. The Bank of Dad, the money tree. Oh, we've got several money trees planted in the garden. But no, my daughters are lovely. One runs her own business, and the other one works for a company in the City of London. So, they are just modern day children who I think probably accept more from their parents than they should. And we're modern parents in as much as we probably give our children a bit too much that we should. But we love them and we wouldn't swap them for anyone.
Hey, like here in America, we got more and more of the 28, even 30-year-olds still living with mom and dad.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way things came.
I think that's going to be the case here. I think getting on the property ladder, especially in the southeast of England where I live, and the properties are an incredible price. And the youngsters today, they need equivalent to $80,000-$90,000 deposit just to get on the ladder.
Wow!
So I just don't know how they're going to do it. But as I explain to my kids, you're here as long as I'm here. But both me and my wife want to retire early 60s. And that might be the time we downsize. But by then, they'll be approaching their late 20s, early 30s.
Let me ask you a question, Mark. Yeah. What does an average 4-bedroom home in U.S. dollars go for over in England? And then what does let's say a 3-bedroom apartment rent for over in England?
Okay. Right. Well, the 4-bedroom houses where I live, I'm in a 3-bedroom but extended house.
Okay.
And the 4-bedroom houses in my street, they probably run about $650,000, $700,000. So you're probably talking $800,000, $900,000 for a 4-bedroom house.
You could buy a 4-bedroom home here for probably $210,000, $220,000, somewhere in that area.
I know. Well, me and my wife have been looking. We've actually been looking.
Come on over.
Few years. Yeah, well, we've been there so many times, and we keep saying that's one of the places we're going to retire to.
Okay.
So maybe. But and renting where I live is more than you would pay on a mortgage because it's just silly prices. They can spend probably $3,000 a month on rent.
Oh my!
For just a two-bedroom place.
Oh my!
And it really depends where you live, because obviously in the southeast of England, especially around the London area, a lot of people commute using public transport. So if you live near a railway station, or if you live, near a big transport hub, then the prices go up astronomically.
Wow.
So that's what people who rent tend to rent in an area where they've got good transport links, and so that the prices go up accordingly.
Okay.
Paying more for convenience.
Wow. All right. Last question, because we got to get to news here. How much is gas a gallon over there in England?
Well, we now buy it by the litre.
Oh, that's right, the liter.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the litre. Now we pay.
How many liters are in a gallon, Bonnie?
Yeah, about four. So about, I'd say about $7 a gallon.
Wow. We're at $2.
Mm-hmm.
We're at $2.10 a gallon as we speak.
And that's expensive.
For US, that's cheap.
I remember we was there in 2018. I can't really remember the price, but I know you could fill up the whole tank and still get change out of a 20.
Well, I think that's when gas was at its all-time lowest.
Right.
It got down to like $1.85, $1.90, somewhere in that area.
And
but
in 1978, I think it was like $1.28 or $1.05.
I remember I remember in 75, it was like 79 cents a gallon back then.
Well,
Wow.
I've been coming to the US since 1987, and I would say that I've seen it not change much, apart from during the first Gulf War, Desert Shield. I was over there. That was 1990. I was in California, and the price was creeping up then for obvious reasons. But no, I just keep the pedal to the metal all the time when I'm over there. I make good use of your cheap gas. I can say that.
Hope you can fix your leaky roof there,
Definitely.
sir.
Well,
Hope
that's our good friend Mark Hales calling us all the way from across the pond in England, giving us an update. We always really, truly enjoy when you talk. We cherish the time that we get with you because we know you're a very busy guy over there, Mark. Thank you so much for calling us. We really appreciate it.
And I love speaking to the pair of you, and say hello to everyone around you. You stay safe. Have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to calling in a few weeks.
Please do. Cheerio, as they say.
Cheers. And
all right, bye-bye now. Wow, I love when he calls.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a really nice family.
By the way, I
and-
came up actually Marty Jacobson just texted me.
Yeah.
He came up with a new moderator for the next debate. You know who it is?
It's Mark Hales.
No, it should be Jerry Springer.
He used to be a politician before. He was a congressman at one time.
7:25. We're behind just a tad bit. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Thanks, Evan. After testing positive for the coronavirus, President Trump is clearing his schedule, and that includes a rally scheduled for tonight in Central Florida. Trump was to speak at Orlando Sanford International Airport, but that event is canceled. Trump tweeted just after midnight that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus and are in quarantine together. A friendly reminder from Florida's top elections official.
If you're not already a registered voter and you want to vote in November's election, the deadline to register is October 5th, next week.
Florida Secretary of State Laurel Lee says there are a number of convenient ways to register to vote, including going online to registertovoteflorida.gov. As Florida enters phase 3 of the coronavirus reopening plan, more medical centers report a decline in hospital admissions.
Healthcare is a right, not a privilege in normal times. And healthcare in a pandemic is central to our recovery as a economy and as a country.
But Advent Health epidemiologist, Dr. Vincent Hsu, says people cannot let down their guard. He says mask wearing, social distancing, and frequent hand washing must continue to be routine until a vaccine can be distributed. In Martin County, a new Publix store will be built on Southwest Canner Highway, but It could be 7 years before it opens its doors. Developers have 5 years to get approval of final plans and another 2 years to get it built. The project, initially proposed in 2019, was approved 4-1 by County Commissioner September 15. Commissioner Sarah Hurd, the lone dissenter, expressed concerns about wetlands in the area. It's the camel's nose under the tent, said Hurd. It's beginning the urbanization of agricultural Martin County. Public's representatives could not be reached for comment despite an attempt by phone. Commissioners in May had rezoned that site for commercial use. It previously was designated partially for agricultural use. And lastly, Chrissy Teigen said that she and John Legend are in deep pain following her miscarriage, which she announced in a heart-wrenching social media post. Teigen wrote that they were driving home from the hospital with no baby. This is unreal. We are shocked and in the kind of deep pain you only have about the kind of pain we've never felt before. We were never able to stop the bleeding and give our baby the fluids he needed. Despite bags and bags of blood transfusions, it just wasn't enough. She wrote this in a post late Wednesday alongside a picture of herself in tears on a hospital bed. Well, the NFL action from last night, the Denver Broncos did beat the New York Jets by a score of 37-28. Now, me as the Packer backer, I did pick the Broncos to win, but I'm still way down the list of people in Lenny's Pick'em League ranked at number 31. Right now, our leaderboard is showing that Big Mike is at number 1, followed by Chief Pick'em Good, Florida Bears, and the Beeve in at 4th place. Hope everybody's having fun in Lenny's Pick'em League. News time is 7:29. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:29, the time on a fun Friday on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red. First, Bonnie.
Well, now in St. Lucie County, we do see a hit-and-run crash, and this is on I-95 southbound right before Crosstown Parkway at mile marker 121. No roadblock from that hit-and-run, so traffic getting through, and some flooding in the area of White City, Midway Road from US 1 to 25th Street. In that area, flooding going on. You're asked to avoid the area. Use your alternate I-95 or US 1. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 76 right here in Stuart. In Townsend, Maryland, raining and 55. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Friday, my sunshines. Temperatures this morning starting off in the low to mid 70s. A few showers and a couple of thunderstorms possible for that morning drive. Highs today in the low 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and another round of scattered showers and storms. Some of those storms could produce locally heavy rainfall. Tonight, mainly dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms possible with rounds of heavier rainfall. Highs in the low 80s, but feeling like the upper 80s. A flood watch remains in place for St. Lucie and Martin counties until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
And we're back on the air here at WSTU. And of course, I'm going to put somebody on the spot. Why not? Let's do it. Gary's on with us. This is Bonnie's better half. Hi, Gary.
How you doing?
We're doing great. Why don't I have you on the air? There we go. All right, there we go. Gary's on the air with us. Hey, Gary.
I was just trying to call you about a broken red light at Crosstown Expressway in Bayshore.
All right. Crosstown and Bayshore.
Yeah, and then when the light turns green, it only lasts for like 2 seconds. It's something wrong with the light.
Oh, you got to be quick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
I wonder if it's going to have to come to that circumstance where people will just have to use common sense and use it as a four-way stop.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Hopefully
Well, they're working. They're just not working right. Like, the light stays red for a long time. Everybody else gets to go. And then the light turns green for like 2 seconds. That's it.
I've seen that at many intersections. Yeah, they have to come out and reprogram stuff.
Yeah. There was there was one on Prima Vista Boulevard where we were going to turn left to go into the Home Depot at one time, and the light stayed at stop for what seemed like hours. So I'll admit, there was no traffic coming. So even though that light was still red,
hey Gary, I have a great idea how we could remedy that situation.
What's that? Take a different road?
No. I have this bright orange vest. Video, swing by, I'll give it to you, and you could go out there and direct traffic.
I'll do it.
I knew you would. See, I knew he was daring. He would do things. Okay.
You're bailing me out, right?
Say what?
You're gonna bail me out?
I'll bail you out. Sure, why not? I got $50. Why not? I'll bail you out. What the heck? Brian Bosio come get you out. That's all. He's our public information officer from Stewart PD. He's got rank. Why not?
Wear a rain jacket, though, baby. I don't want you getting caught without a rain. What?
Where's Bill at?
Oh, he's waiting for Bill.
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 Bill. Bill is going to be on with us at 8:05. So you're hooked on the show too.
Yeah, well, I just want to hang out with the guy and have a beer. He seems like a cool guy.
He is really he's a rock and roller. He is definitely a very cool guy. I've talked to him on the phone a few times, and he's a really super, super cool, chill guy. He really is.
He seems mellow, like he tries to get everybody to get along, but it doesn't work.
He does.
Yeah, well, you stop and think about it. He's 62 and Bree is 23, so a little bit of an age gap, but that's all right.
Yeah, but what's the ex-wife deal, though, right?
I'm sorry?
The ex-wife, though.
Oh, I don't understand that because he involves his ex-wives in everything.
He does.
I did too. That's why we get along.
Yeah. Well, Bree doesn't get along with any of his ex-wives.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Well, neither do I. So, I mean, I don't get along with my ex-wife, but that's besides the point.
Yep. Gary's ex-wife is even coming over. She even comes over to stay with us. That's how well.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
We get along.
That's cool.
For the weekend.
That's cool. That's cool. When Topanga and Jaden. Yes, Jaden. Yes. Yeah, we talk about our families on the air all the time. We have an open book here. So, there's no filters here, obviously, as you know that.
Gary, is there anything you want us to ask Bill when he calls in?
Yeah, if I can go have a beer with him.
All right. Well, when he comes down to Miami, we might be able to set that up where you and Bonnie can go down and meet Bill.
That would be great.
All right. How about Rick and Erica? Would you like to meet them?
I just started watching that the other day. I like him too. He's pretty cool.
He was on with us last week. He's a really cool guy. He really is.
Very charismatic.
Yeah, he's eccentric to say the least.
But he's cool, right?
Yeah, he is. He's definitely a really cool guy. I mean, he kind of went about things the wrong way when he asked Erica to marry him. So now he had to go to Springfield, and he had to go to Springfield and schmooze over the possible future father-in-law to get her hand in marriage.
But
seeing after his money.
I don't think he is.
He gave back a 4-carat ring.
Yeah.
How much that cost?
Oh, that ring was a 5-figure ring, easily.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I told Gary, Evan?
What?
I told Gary was, and we're honest with each other. I said, Gary,
I hope so.
You know, her dad is actually far better looking than the guy that's asking for her hand.
Well,
yeah.
Erica's dad, he's kind of a good-looking man.
guy. He's distinguished.
Yeah.
He has that goatee going on. He's a distinguished gentleman. But then again, you know, there's 45 years difference between, you know, Rick and Erica.
Yeah.
So, I mean, heck, there's 15 years between Rachel and myself. How many years between you and Gary?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, which is not that much at all.
We're very close in age.
I mean, you're 30, Gary's 32.
But Gary always says he's going to get himself a 18 or a 20-year-old.
Really? You say that to Bonnie?
I say trade her in for 2 20-year-olds.
Wow.
2
Oh my.
2 of them.
Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait. Stop. Are we talking 2 for 1 here?
No, but they didn't give me a ticket at the toll booth. Now I'm going to get a fine. Jesus, this is a hard drive this morning. Yeah, 2 20-year-olds. I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute. You just went through the wait a minute. Poor guy goes through the turnpike. He doesn't get a ticket at the toll booth. So now they're going to send him a notice in the mail. He'll get a fine. And he's talking about 2 20-year-olds. Next thing you know, he's going to want to go to Blind Creek Beach with the 20-year-olds.
Yeah, and guess who's going to be writing a checky for him to send it in the mail?
Yeah,
me. I'm going to bring out my checkbook.
Jeez.
Well, I just got one for the other day. They're trying to say I have a SunPass card, but when they had their shenanigans with SunPass, they threw it out and decided to pay cash. Well, now they're still trying to bill me SunPass, even though I don't have a SunPass even on my car.
You don't have a SunPass?
No, I pay the $1 because remember when they ripped off everybody with the SunPass? They weren't charging them, then they were getting $1,000 bills for the turnpike.
Okay.
That was like a year ago. I stopped using their SunPass.
I've never had a problem with my SunPass before.
Do you use it every day?
Every day I go on the turnpike religiously. I get on at Becker Road. I get off at Stewart. I get 5 hits going down south. So that means I get 25 hits a week for, I don't know, it's like maybe 50 cents or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah, and you never had a problem with the SunPass?
Never, ever had a problem. Knocking wood. Never, ever had a problem at all whatsoever.
It was like maybe over a year ago that some people were having some sort of problem with them.
Yeah, it was a news story on your radio.
Yeah.
It was big.
Gary, you do know it is less expensive to use SunPass than pay cash, right?
Yeah, I know.
Give Bonnie a damn SunPass, all right?
Maybe I got to go buy a new SunPass.
Go buy her a SunPass, for God's sakes.
Do you hear how hyper my guy sounds?
I love it. I think it's great. He's got energy.
He could get himself 2 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
he has
really.
a lot of energy.
2 20-year-olds, and then he heads to Blind Creek Beach, and all is good, right, Gary?
Sounds all right.
I told you he would.
Hey, but leave me a SunPass out of the deal at least.
Maybe it'd be a good afternoon. I don't know.
See, I told you Gary had a wild side to him. I knew it from the get-go.
He's a wild.
See, I brought out the wild side in Bonnie the other day. Did she tell you what she did with her noggin?
Something about banging a head on the mouse or something?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, we talked about somebody cracking walnuts with their head. So we decided to get two computer mice out of the room and set them on the counter. And Bonnie just stands up and starts headbutting the mice on the counter and then headbutts the counter. And then she looks at me. She goes, "Oh, my noggin." In fact, wait a minute. I have that actual sound. Hold on. Let me find it real quick here. Hold on.
Wanted to show listeners the true meaning of what that guy actually did by showing it.
Hold on, give me a minute.
His head was like a jackhammer hitting these walnuts and breaking these walnuts open, Gary.
But did you really hit your head on the mouse?
She did. There's video proof, Gary.
What the hell told you? You see what?
I'm telling you.
He's saying, "You see what I have to deal with."
Well, that's okay. That's a good thing. I can't. Oh, here it is. Here, Gary. Here, Gary. Listen. This is what Bonnie said after she hit her head.
Oh, my noggin.
There you go. See?
Oh, my noggin.
That's what she said. But if you go,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if you look at the show from 2 days ago, was it right, Bonnie?
Yeah, the day before yesterday.
Go
or
2 days
was it
ago back
Monday, even?
on either the Facebook or the YouTube, and go to about 38 minutes from the beginning of the show. You'll see Bonnie on video. I kid you not. It is so funny. I mean, I got so many emails in regards to it.
In the 6 o'clock hour, she's headbutting mice?
Yes, it's 6:38. She's headbutting mice on the counter.
Man, I'm sleeping. I don't.
Yeah. Thank God you were sleeping. Imagine if she was home. You'd be getting headbutted.
You have to look at the footage from a long time ago because you'll never see it again.
Yeah, this will never happen again. That was like a one and done type deal.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, listen, hey, where are you heading into work this morning?
Yes, sir.
All right. You got some. Wow, you start early with massages, huh?
No, I'm just always early.
You're like me. I get here extra early.
I work 9 to 3, I think, today.
Okay. All right. Well, as always, they say rub the people the right way, stretch them out, and make them feel good.
I will.
That's it.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you have a great day, too, and you got to come in studio and hang with us one morning.
Sounds good. I thought we were going to have breakfast, me, you, and your wife and Bonnie.
We'll do that. We'll do that one day. My wife's got some vacation time coming up as we get closer to the holidays. So when we get into that, we'll go to breakfast. My treat. All right.
Hey, sounds great.
Yeah, you're up for a free meal, right?
Why not?
All right, Gary. God bless you, man. Have a great day.
Love you, honey.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow, that was great. I'm so glad that he called.
Yeah, and
for somebody that you tell me that, he doesn't want to be on the radio. Yeah. And look, did you hear him? He was just talking about going to Blind Creek Beach with 2 20-year-olds. And somebody's going to get their arse whipped when they get home later.
No, I'm pretty mellow. I'm not going to go and knock my head on anything, break any walnuts or mice when I get home. But he is
You're just going to look at him and you're going to say, Blind Creek Beach, huh?
Yeah, you never want to go to the beach with me otherwise. No. But he's really fired up about Bill coming on.
Good.
Evan.
I'm glad. It was good to talk to him. It really was.
Yeah,
I enjoyed having him on the air. 7:45, it's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. And after testing positive for the coronavirus, President Trump is clearing his schedule, and that includes a rally scheduled for tonight in Central Florida. Trump was to speak at Orlando Sanford International Airport, but that event is canceled. Trump tweeted just after midnight that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus. They're in quarantine together. A friendly reminder from Florida's top elections official.
If you're not already a registered voter and you want to vote in November's election, the deadline to register is October 5th. Next week.
Florida Secretary of State Laurel Lee says there are a number of convenient ways to register to vote, including going online to registertovoteflorida.gov. Now, that planned rally in Sanford had drawn the ire of a Central Florida Congresswoman. Democrat Stephanie Murphy said thousands of would be rallying in support of a president who is trying to take away their health care.
Healthcare is a right, not a privilege in normal times. And healthcare in a pandemic is central to our recovery as a economy and as a country.
Murphy says the president's nominee for the Supreme Court could be the vote that overturns critical parts of the Affordable Care Act. More than 2,600 new COVID-19 cases are being reported in Florida. The Department of Health also announced 127 additional deaths. And also, lastly, a front that dumped inches of rain, prompting road conditions in at least one Treasure Coast county, will linger in the area moving into the weekend, along with the chance for more flooding. Weather officials said by Thursday night, parts of Hobe Sound had seen 7 inches of rain, while 5 to 6 inches had fallen across parts of Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce. Indian River County had between 1 and 1/2 inches Thursday. According to the National Weather Service, upwards of 3 more inches were expected to fall in areas already under flood advisories in St. Lucie and Martin counties by Thursday night. St. Lucie County government officials announced Thursday afternoon at least 2 road closures, citing concerns they were impassable to passengers. Midway Road was temporarily closed from Oleander to 25th Street in Fort Pierce. Officials noted isolated flooding on 25th Street from Virginia Avenue to Midway Road. Elm Avenue at Midway Road was closed to traffic temporarily. And I think Evan just showed me, you two showed me a story about Canner Highway. Let's see. A portion of Canner Highway is shut down due to flooding. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says it's closed between Indian Street and Monterey Road. The Heat may be without 2 starters for Game 2 tonight against the Lakers in the NBA Finals in Orlando. Guard Goran Gordragic and center Bam Adebayo are listed as doubtful after they exited the 18-point Miami loss Wednesday with injuries. News Time 7:49 will have weather and traffic together next.
$7:50 the time on the Get Up and Go show. It's a fun Friday. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Yeah, and we just mentioned a while ago, we've been seeing the flooding in some areas, including Midway Road from US 1 to 25th Street in that White City area. You're asked to use US 1 or I-95 as your alternate, and portions of Canner Highway, some flooding areas expected if you're heading out on areas of Canner Highway 2 this morning, and try to use an alternate. There's your latest look at traffic. We have 76 in Port St. Lucie, and Salt Lake City, Utah this morning is at 55. Here's our forecast, WPTV.
Happy Friday, my sunshines. Temperatures this morning starting off in the low to mid 70s. A few showers and a couple of thunderstorms possible for that morning drive. Highs today in the low 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and another round of scattered showers and storms. Some of those storms could produce locally heavy rainfall. Tonight, mainly dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms possible with rounds of heavier rainfall. Highs in the low 80s, but feeling like the upper 80s. A flood watch remains in place for St. Lucie and Martin counties until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
I hopped on my phone to check a post I made about climate change. 53 comments on my feed. My family's at it again. I hate to say it, but it happens every time. Aunt Kathy's really mad about my yard sign. Uncle Tim's a little racist. COVID isn't contagious. That's what he says. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling really so bad. Nobody's changing their minds and they're so mad. That's when I realize it's getting worse, cause the debate's coming on. Yeah, a debate's coming on. Yeah, debate's coming on. So I put my hands up. 2020 has ruined my family. My cousin Larry says, oh well. Aunt Martha says, go to. I put my hands up, everything's wrong. This is really not okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. An election in the USA. Yeah, 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 yeah. An election in the USA.
Yeah, an election in the USA. That's the Holderness family. I lost my train of thought. What I was going to do, Bonnie.
Well,
I'm completely lost. There we go. I forgot what I was going to do. Okay, I figured it out now.
Nice.
I'm good. We're both doing like multitasking here.
Yeah.
Gary, if you're still listening, check your text message. Okay, I just sent you a video of what we were talking about Bonnie cracking the mice. So you'll have it. So go watch it.
You know, I'm thankful that that video is not going viral or anything.
You never know. I may send it to Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she'll be like making fun of me.
No, there's no fun to make. There's no fun to make. It's all in what we do on the show, Bonnie, is all in good fun with love and TLC. And you know that. That
was some real quirky stuff. And because I banged my head so hard, I even forgot what day it was.
Are you serious?
It just like damaged my memory or something.
Wow.
That had been on Wednesday because Phil was with us.
Okay.
And then Phil had done some taste testing of the food too on that day, and where he ate some sweet doggy treats.
So you got a little bit of Dane damage, as they say.
Yeah. You know, and I've been tempted to to take a bite out of one of those doggy treats once in a while.
Have you really?
You ever walk out of PetSmart?
Well, wait till we get the Jelly Bellies in here, and then we'll have fun with you and Phil. And we'll have you close your eyes, and you'll pick a Jelly Belly out of the basket.
Yeah.
And we won't know what it is. But just for safety, I have plastic gloves up here. So you'll put a plastic glove on, and then you'll reach in and get a Jelly Belly that way.
Oh,
so this way we don't cross-contaminate. Not saying you have cooties or anything, but just to be safe.
Yeah.
You know, we want to make sure we're safe in here.
Because we have a big jar of these mixed nuts, too, at work. And every time I go for the nuts, I bring a little dish out, and I make sure that I spoon them up. I don't put my hands. Do you like to eat
bigger nuts or smaller nuts?
I don't know. I just... I guess all nuts of all sorts.
Okay. All right. You're just a nutty girl.
A sort full of.
All right. You just like an assortment of nuts.
And pistachios are always wonderful.
Right. Oh, God. Be careful how you say that. Pistachios. How about pistachios?
Pistachios.
Yeah, there we go. It just sounds a little better.
They're wonderfully good.
Well, I just realized that it's coming up on 8 o'clock. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Bill Hutchinson from Marrying Millions is going to be here right after the news. Don't you dare go anywhere. It's going to be a riveting interview. We'll be right back.
huge fans. We're huge fans of you and Bree.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. And boy, this is a real treat. Last week we had Rick Sykes on from Marrying Millions, and this week, one of the stars of the reality TV show, Marrying Millions, which airs Wednesday evenings, 10 o'clock Eastern on Lifetime. Bill Hutchinson is with us. He is the president of Dunhill Partners, the company that partnered with Richard Branson to build the Virgin Hotel in the Dallas Design District area. The company manages several dozen shopping centers and operates more than 1 million square feet of showrooms, art galleries, and restaurants. Bill met Bree when she was a hostess at a Tex-Mex restaurant in Dallas. The two have been dating for over 3 years, and Bill says their 40-year age difference is a point of confusion for other people. He says that people are intrigued by them because they aren't normal. Bill is a father of 5, and Bree is younger than Bill's 3 oldest kids. And Bill is on the line with us right now. Bill, good morning to you in Dallas, Texas.
Good morning, Evan. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I appreciate you getting up at 7:08 in the morning. You're probably down in your kitchen making your cup of coffee with your robe on, as I saw you a few weeks ago when Bree's mom walked in the kitchen.
You must have a video camera on me, because that's exactly what I just did while you're doing that intro.
I kind of have your morning routine down pat. The look on Bree's mom when she walked in the kitchen and you were there in your robe and your Calvin Klein boxer briefs with the robe open was priceless, I have to say.
Well, I'm not used to having someone's mom staying in my house. And, I got used to having Bree moving in, and that was a wonderful experience, and it still is. But when she wanted her mom to move in, too, I was pretty leery about it. And sure enough, she disrupted all my peaceful, quiet times. And the morning is one of them. I've got 2 kids sleeping here, and they love sleeping in. Bree sleeps in. So the morning is really my time.
Yeah.
And this lady, she doesn't go to sleep. Whether it's late at night, early in the morning, she's there. She's everywhere. I can't get away from her.
Now, you do realize, Bill, that this could possibly be your mother-in-law. Think about that.
Well, I don't use those words yet.
Yet.
And I don't know if I ever really can. I love Bree dearly, but that mom of hers is a trip. You've never met anyone like this woman.
Isn't your house big enough, Bill, where you can like go and hide somewhere and get your own sanctuary?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he goes and she follows. She finds him. He can't even go in a closet and hide because she'll open the damn closet door.
Bonnie, Evan is right. It doesn't matter how big the house is. She's going to find me, and she's going to hover. And if I'm sitting in the kitchen, she'll hover in the kitchen. If I go way over to the other side, where I call it the den or my man cave, she's going to go over there and just plop down right next to me.
God, just leave the poor guy alone, for God's sakes. Give him his space. Man.
Hey, a 62-year-old needs a little peace and quiet every once in a while.
I agree with you, man. I am right with you because I'm 60 years old. Jeez.
Wait a minute. Now, you're 62, Bill.
Right.
How old is Mom? How old is Bree's mom?
She's like in her 40s or 50s, right?
Yeah, she's in her 50s. She's probably about 54.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And her daughter, Bree, is 22.
Now, you have 3 children of your own, do you not?
I've got 3 older children, all in their 30s, who are all now grown and gone and married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a grandfather. They've got children of their own now. And then here in the house, I have a second wave of kids because I was married a second time.
Right.
So I have a 16-year-old daughter living here with me and an 11-year-old son.
Okay. So you've been married twice, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And if you and Bree get married, this will be marriage number 3. And they always say third time is a charm. And I can attest to that because I'm on my 3rd marriage and it's been 21 years a charm for me.
That's great to hear. That gives me hope.
Well,
I love the expression third time's a charm. And I actually believe in that because us men, it takes us a while to get things right.
Right.
And you learn. And I learned from my first wife what I wanted and didn't want.
Right.
I perfected that skill with my second wife. And now I think I've zeroed in on what really does work for me.
The two of you really do look like you're truly in love. And it's not like you're performing in front of the cameras, because with a lot of these reality shows, Bill, they tell you do this, do that, do this, do that for the camera. And then when you're off camera, it's a different life. But what we see, what you see is what you get. This is Bill and Bree in real life. There's no acting at all. They just have cameras shoved in your face 24/7.
You're exactly right. They really just let us be us, ask us to just pretend like they're not there and conduct our lives in front of them. The only good news is they're not here all the time, and they're very polite about asking when they can come.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do come, they show up early in the morning.
Right.
You get a crew of about 10 to 12 people piling into your house.
Right.
Sound people, camera people, and then they're just there. And after a while, we're doing second season. I know you talked to Rick.
Right.
Was it last week or a few days ago?
Yes, talked to Rick last week.
So this is Rick's first season. They invited us back. So we have a year of experience over them.
Right.
And so we got used to it. And now when they come back to us, it's normal. And they're not here unless they ask for permission. And we put it in our calendars and we know when they're coming. So there's no surprises.
Mm-hmm.
My better half and I are huge fans of you and Bree, Bill. In fact, you're like our favorite ones on the episodes.
You're so sweet, Bonnie.
It's true. And it's like when we saw you in season 1, we were just really delighted, Gary and myself, to see you both come back in season 2 for that action. We wanted more.
We're quite honored that they invited us back. And sometimes we sort of scratch our heads because we know that lots of people enjoy watching us, but we're not always sure what it is that they like watching us for. Like, is it the age gap thing? Because we find ourselves just very normal. And sometimes I ask Lifetime, like, is this really interesting? Are people really enjoying watching this? Because it's sort of like voyeurism. You're just sort of watching someone else's life, right?
Right. Exactly. Now, Rick said something last week that kind of took me by surprise because, you know, Rick is a little out there. Actually, that's an understatement. He's a lot out there. And he told me that people will give him the strangest looks. And he said, driving down the road one day, somebody mentioned something about him and Erica, that Erica's his daughter. And he says, "Oh, my daughter will watch this." And he just blatantly said he shoved his tongue right down her throat, right in front of them, and it grossed them out completely.
You know, I can see Rick doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not that controversial. People have actually mistaken Bree for one of my kids,
right,
because my second wife was Hispanic.
Right.
And so both my children who live with me,
right,
they look very Hispanic, and Bree's Hispanic.
Uh-huh.
So when the four of us are together, you know, it looks like a tall white guy and three young Hispanic children. And people will say, is it just you and your kids?
Right.
And I look behind me and there's Bree, King, and Annabelle. I'm like, well, 2 kids and 1 girlfriend. And they always like, oh, we're so sorry, Mr. Hutchinson.
Wow.
And that has happened dozens of times, unfortunately.
Jeez. Yeah, Bree is a gorgeous young lady.
She's
very,
gorgeous.
very attractive. She has this this smile in her eyes, and just I can see why when you saw her at that restaurant, when you plucked her out of the restaurant, that you could, you know, why you fell in love with her. And you can really truly see that there is love there on camera between the two of you.
We love each other very deeply. And yes, watching her work as a hostess, I was just mesmerized by this beautiful young lady who was so kind to people and so elegant running around. And I had never been captivated like a hostess before in a Mexican restaurant like that. Mm-hmm. And it made me want to come back and see if she was still there again.
Yeah.
And then again, until I got the courage to ask her out for a cup of coffee.
Uh-huh.
And that was our first date, sitting on the patio of a Starbucks together.
Wow.
And
Now,
I was like a little kid.
Now, also keep in mind too, that, you know, she's got that Latin side to her. And man, when you say something to her, and I've seen it on TV, when you say something to her that ticks her off, especially her mom, oh boy, the wall goes up and she is spitting fire at you. And I've seen that a few times.
You know, that's true, Evan. And, you know, I don't like drama. I like peace. I like everyone always to be happy.
Right.
And I love keeping Bree happy. But there are a few things that will get her more than anything. And the main one is talking ill of her family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know,
yeah.
You know
Go
what
ahead, Bonnie.
you know what I admire about you too, Bill, is that when she does, you know, something does get under her skin for a little bit and she gets, you know, kind of edgy. I like your calming effect always in how you sit down and talk with her.
And Bill has this, Bill really does. He has this calming, something about when you speak, Bill, to Bree, when she gets a little mad, you have this calmness, kind of like a Zen, that when you're talking to somebody, it's very therapeutic. I don't know what it is. And I hear it in your voice as you're speaking with Bonnie and I also this morning.
Yeah. And it doesn't come through as fake or phony.
No, it's
watching
very
the
heartfelt.
show, it comes through as real.
Yeah. Very heartfelt.
That's very sweet of both of you. Well, maybe it's because my father was a Methodist minister his whole life. And I used to sit in the pews on Sunday morning watching 2 services in a row. And so I grew up listening to my father's calm voice as he's delivering these sermons. And my mom always thought I would grow up and be a minister also. And I just didn't have that same calling. And I think it disappointed my parents for a while until I got into this real estate career and things just started taking off for me. And it wasn't easy. I'm not pretending it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
But after about 10 tough years, all of a sudden I was the accepted person in real estate and big things started happening. And then you get on the top of your career. And now my parents were like, well, we understand that you're helping people in a different way. And I feel like this is my calling, but I do like talking to Bree in a very calm way because I don't like things to ratchet up when there's a little bit of anger.
Right.
I like to take things right back down to normal, to the baseline,
right,
and keep her nice and happy. And nothing really rattles me. Because in my life, I feel like we're all just blessed to be alive.
Right.
And I'm blessed to be so fortunate with everything, God's given me. And so if there is anger, I always believe that it shouldn't be there. And it's my job to diffuse it, to make everybody happy again.
God, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I do.
You can tell Bill didn't come from a family of screamers or people yelling.
Not at all. Not in the
No,
least bit.
and when I hear it, like I know it's my duty to jump in, whether it's Bree or anybody else, and I feel like I'm there to bring it back to hey, we're all here to have a good time, and life is wonderful. What's the issue? Let's resolve it.
I think I just found the next moderator for the presidential debate.
Oh my God! Oh,
seriously,
did you watch that Floodfest?
Oh, please! I don't even want to talk about it. But
it was painful. It was painful to watch, no matter what side you're on.
I felt bad for Chris Wallace. That's all I got to say. Poor guy. Definitely poor guy. They should bring Jerry Springer or somebody in next time.
I agree with you,
man.
Well, Chris he's jumping on the dog pile a little bit, and that wasn't fair.
Yeah,
they need a moderator who I think is a little bit more fair.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I definitely agree
too.
with you. So if there's going to be a season 3, are we going to see Bill and Bree back for season 3?
Well, they've talked to us about it, but it's not been confirmed.
Okay,
and we haven't officially been asked.
Okay.
They always tell us that, hey, you guys, you're our favorite couple.
Right.
We love having you in the show.
Right.
And whenever there's like a little promo to do, or like we went to Good Morning America last year, they always pick us as the ones to be the spokesman for Marrying Millions.
Right.
Which that's cool. That's an honor. And I really appreciate that.
Right.
And when we were invited back for season 2, I was actually really excited, even though, we were hesitant to sign up when we did season 1. Once we got into it and got used to it, and we realized that people didn't hate us for it, and my career didn't tumble because of it.
Right.
People actually enjoyed it. So we thought, all right, this is great. This is something that we can do, and we're enjoying it. So we jumped into season 2 with both hands and both feet. We had a great time filming it. So if they had invited us back for season 3, we will definitely do it.
Wow.
But they have to invite us. They have to
of course.
Ask us.
Of course.
And they know they've got willing participants right here with myself and with Bree, because we've had such a great time with the show.
Do you see yourself being in season 17 like the Kardashians?
That's a great question, buddy. Well, the other day, Rick called me up from Miami. He goes, Bill, I've got a great idea. I go, what's that, Rick? He goes, let's tell Lifetime we want to change the show a little bit. We want it Rick and Erica and Bill and Bree, just the 4 of us.
Wow.
I'm like,
that would be
that's
interesting.
a great idea, Rick. I'll do that with you. So he actually called Lifetime and pitched it to him. And I don't think they take advice from reality TV show stars.
Yeah.
But that's what Rick had come up with. And we love them as a couple. And we chat with them on the telephone all the time.
Right.
And so that would be fun if a spinoff happened and it got that kind of longevity that you're talking about, Bonnie, because very few reality TV shows really do survive that long. It's a tough world out there.
It really is. It really truly is.
That idea to me sounds refreshing, and I think you would have a big core of an audience still watching with the 2 of you couples. I think that would work.
Well, I love watching the show, and I always love the stories of the other couples. But I must say that sometimes when some of the other couples are on, I find it dragging just a little bit, and I'm not trying to be critical of anybody.
It's painful. I'm going to be honest with you. It's
okay.
It's painful. I honestly, the least favorite couple I like watching is Noni and Reese.
It's tough to watch.
That's a tough one.
I don't quite understand her interest in him.
No, I don't.
And his mom acts like she's stealing her baby away, and yet the guy was sleeping in his car.
Right.
It's like, well, you didn't really help your son very much. You should be glad that she wants to take him.
And Rodney and Desiree, that's a whole nother ball game with I don't even understand him. He's just one strange dude.
Now he kind of makes me laugh.
Yeah,
a little
he's
bit.
a strange character.
Yeah, there's definitely some comic relief watching that couple.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure which way he hit. And the fact that she says that she won't have sex with him until they're married.
Yeah.
And yet They say they've been dating for over 2 years. So I don't know what dating means to them.
Yeah.
And how can he be cheating on her if they've never had sex?
Yeah,
I don't think he's cheating on her because they don't have a real relationship.
No. And then you got Danny. I'm sorry, you have Kevin and Katie. Here, Kevin moves to Vegas, and Katie flies to Vegas and says to Kevin, I'd like to move in with you. I think you want to know something between me, you, and the fence post. I think Kevin's got a squeeze on the side, and he doesn't want Katie to know about it.
I mean, what doesn't she understand about he's trying to get away from you? He even left his own city to get away from you, and now you're following him there. Sorry, Katie, he's just not that into you.
Yeah, that's and then you get Danny and Donovan, and Donovan, they showed the teases on the show. I guess Donovan's going to pop the question.
Well, that's what this show is about. They want you to always pop the question sometime in the show,
right?
But they don't force it on you,
right?
And that's my whole issue. Look, I love Bree to death, and hopefully one day she's going to have that wedding ring on her finger.
Aww.
I do hope so. But I have so many issues. I've got a big extended family,
right?
And I've got 3 older girls in their 30s,
right,
who are all very opposed to that.
Right.
And so I live this balance of keeping those daughters happy who love their dad dearly. And I'm with them and my grandchildren a lot now.
Wow.
And then Bree, who's, a young, sweet, adorable young lady who deserves to be married, deserves to have her own children, and is in love with me.
Yeah.
And that's a tough tightrope to walk.
Right.
Trying to please both factions on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who have met Bree's family, who, God love them, they go, Bill, you're not just marrying Bree. You're marrying into that family.
Yeah.
Sharon is going to be your mother-in-law. and she's not the only one on that side that I wince from, So it's like, oh, I wish someone would sometimes just tell me what to do in my future because I'm torn. I don't know which way to turn sometimes.
Now, I haven't seen Bree with the ring yet, but I do remember that absolutely a fun episode where I think it was a place in Miami where you took her out to get some really nice, expensive jewelry. And I remember she was like a little girl in a candy store and got to pick whatever she wanted on those tables.
Yes, actually, that was in Dallas, Bonnie.
Okay.
And that is in the home of a local jeweler. His name is Joe Pachetti.
Uh-huh.
And he sells jewelry to the stars. He travels between Aspen, New York, London, and Dallas. And he's like a traveling salesman with suitcases full of jewelry.
Wow.
And he just lays them out on your table, and it's always the most amazing stuff you've ever seen. So I did buy her a promise ring on that last episode of the first season, and she loves it. She wears it all the time, of course.
That is so sweet. That is so. You guys are like two little kids, especially the way that you just said it. I bought her a promise ring. I remember promise rings from back in the day, and now people just they just get the engagement ring and be done with it. But the promise ring, you're such a romantic guy.
Romantic, yes. And I have
and I felt like she needed to know how much I loved her and how much I was committed to her, and yet I wasn't ready to take the stronger steps. So I took a baby step.
Okay.
And I am like a teenager. I'm a 62-year-old teenager.
Right.
How about that, Evan?
I know you and I have so much in common. It's crazy. When we first talked on the phone a week or so ago, just the personalities clicked and we just chatted and
we did
and talked, and it was just so cool. It really was.
Got one more question.
Well, I think you called me to set up a time, and I think we ended up talking for like half an hour.
Yeah, we did. And we talked about our families, our kids, and just everything.
Would you be all about, say, people wonder about maybe a young girl getting together with a much older guy who's wealthy, and then you kind of wonder about that girl's future of doing something on her own? Bill, would you be all about her continuing education or going to school also to pursue something? Not like she would be leaving you, but would you be all about that too?
I'm all for that. And I've told Bree on numerous occasions, make your life what you want it to be. She's fortunate in a way,
right,
to have found me. And I'm not saying that with any ego, but she had materialism or money is not a problem for her now. So she can live out any dream she wants to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about that. And she loves being at home. She loves cooking dinners for the children and myself. And so she hasn't really taken advantage of any of the opportunities that you've just mentioned. Like she never did go to college.
Right.
And we've talked about that. Would you like to go to college?
Right.
So I really do want to help her grow in her own sense. And it's not going to make me insecure. It's not going to make me unhappy if she starts pursuing something and there's less time in life for me. I mean, we live together here in our home. And at the end of the day, you come back home.
Right.
So I would be happy if she found something that she really wanted, that she found her own passion. Like I'm living out my passions, and I want her to be able to do the same thing.
I think that's
God,
what
we need to replicate. We have to replicate Rick because, I mean, not Rick, Bill. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Rick too, maybe.
Yeah,
He's a lot of fun.
I don't know. He's a lot of fun, but man, you're just like so down to earth and so
really what we like about you. And I think
Yes.
that's why we keep watching.
Yeah, and I mean, normally I was only going to go till 8:20, but I said to Bonnie, I'm like, I got to keep him longer and chat with him more on the radio because I'm just really enjoying. You have no idea how much I'm really truly enjoying having you on the show this morning.
Well, you're being too kind, Evan, and Bonnie, you as well. And I didn't know if I would be any good this morning because I woke up for your show.
Yeah.
And I was lucky that you were a few minutes late because it's 7 o'clock in Dallas, not 8 o'clock.
Right.
And normally I'm a 7:30 natural waker upper. My eyes open up at 7:30 and I'm ready to go down for that cup of coffee.
Right.
So 7 hit me a little bit early. And I jumped out of bed because I didn't want to disappoint you. And I looked at my phone and you hadn't called yet. And it was like 7:02. Like, oh, thank goodness he hadn't called yet. I'm going to go down and start making that coffee right now.
In that white robe, right?
That's what I'm wearing. The same one that Sharon stole from me.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
That says B on it.
Hey, when are
And
you?
I'm like,
When are you and Bree going to be down in Miami? Because I know you have a home down in Miami, and I'd love to go to lunch. Take you guys to lunch.
Well, we do, and we love going there. We spent the whole month of July there, and it was such a fun month.
Uh-huh.
We went back for just a 5-day weekend in August.
Okay.
So I don't have a flight schedule to go there yet, but I'm sure we'll be there this fall. I love winter in Miami because it doesn't get cold. It's just nice and cool.
Right.
And I think it's the best weather in the whole country.
And my better half wants to have a beer with you, by the way.
I love having a beer, and I'm sure he's a wonderful other half, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, we had some fun with him this morning too.
Yeah, he called in earlier this morning. He was like, he couldn't wait for you to be on. He's like listening with bated breath. He's like, man, I can't wait to hear that interview. So,
oh, that's so cool. What's his name, Bonnie?
Gary.
Gary. Hey, well, Gary, I look forward to meeting you in person. Let's have that beer together.
there you go. Wow. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, I can't thank you enough, and talk to Bree, and we would love to have Bree on next Friday if she's available to get up at 7 a.m. your time. I know it's a little early.
I'll tell her. I'll set that up for you.
All right. If you would do that, that'd
you
be
bet.
great. And just shoot me a text message and let me know if she says it's okay. And then shoot me her cell number and I'll call her on her cell number for next Friday at 7 o'clock your time in Dallas.
Well, you guys are going to love Bree. She's a real treat.
I can't wait. I'm so excited because if her personality's anything like yours, we're going to wind up keeping her just as long, and we're going to really look forward to talking to her.
I'm afraid I'm going to be your second favorite. Her personality is better than mine.
Well, just so
Evan.
long as Bree keeps her mom off the phone line, we should be okay.
Well, I don't want to do any spoiler alerts, but the mom is not living in this house anymore.
All right. Well, yeah, we kind of sensed that by what we saw this past week that Bree found a rental house for her nearby, but it was far enough away that you got your domain back and no dogs peeing on the Persian rug.
That's exactly right. I'm so happy now that we've made that change, and it hasn't really shown the whole change on TV. I think you'll get the rest of it next Wednesday. but that's exactly what happened.
Well, we're really excited. Listen, God bless you and Bree. And I'll wait to get a text message from you in regards to that. And then let me know when you're going to be in Miami. I'll take a drive down, with my better half and maybe Bonnie and Gary, and we could all meet up and have lunch together. That'd be a great time.
I would love to do that. I look forward to doing that. And I'll text you after Bree wakes up about next Friday.
All right. Hey, Bill, thanks so much. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Great talking with you, Evan and Bonnie. Thank you all so much for being interested in me and in the show. And I enjoyed having this time with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Take care.
Okay.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All right. Time now is 8:35. We're going to take a short break, play some commercials. And when we come back, Randy Siegel will be with us for the Space Report.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:38 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's a fun Friday. Just got done interviewing the one and only Bill Hutchinson from Marrying Millions. And hopefully we'll have his better half Bree on next week. Time for Randy Siegel with a Space Report. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Well, Sunday marks the beginning of the space age. Back in 1957, during the International Geophysical Year, that's when the then Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 into space. That was the first satellite to be launched ever into orbit. And also on that date in history, although a different year to say the least, We had the flight of Spaceship One. That was Paul Allen and Scale Composite putting together with Burt Rutan's rocket vehicle to launch the Ansari X Prize. Mike Melville at the helm and the first suborbital flight of that vehicle. Yep, we had launches yesterday that were scheduled, but we had all of them delayed. So now if you go to spaceflightnow.com or nasaspaceflight.com, you'll be able to follow the launch schedule coming up. The astronauts on board the International Space Station have still been unable to detect the exact location of that leak. However, they're in no danger of having any problems. The Cygnus launch that has been scheduled could go off this evening to bring supplies to the International Space Station. Hopefully, that will take place. Lastly, we want to tell you that the Boeing company has said that because they did not pay attention, along with NASA, to much of the software problems, that's what caused their vehicle not to dock to the International Space Station. So now NASA will work with them very hard to prevent it happening in December. On Monday, we'll tell you what's going on above us and around us. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you very much, Randy. That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report, Monday through Friday. He appears on this program in the 8 o'clock hour. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with the latest in delicacies for you.
If they are delicate, many delicacies at Ellie's Deli with the most amazing foods. The fresh jumbo wraps are a favorite. These wraps are, they're like the size of these Nerf footballs. I swear they're large.
Oh.
You can get the Reuben wrap with pastrami, corned beef, Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut. You get your Thousand Island dressing, lettuce, onions, and tomatoes in a fresh jumbo wrap. A delicious side item included. Make it crispy, cool coleslaw today. Make it a wonderful chef's pasta salad. And for dessert, maybe to take home, your kids would delight in some peanut butter or Oreo pie. And Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has their patio back open, plus they're at 50% dining inside with full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street off Colorado in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. It's Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,907.10 an ounce, and silver opening up at $23.96 an ounce. That's the Precious Metals Report, and of course, it's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. It is 8:42. News time once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. After testing positive for the coronavirus, President Trump is clearing his schedule, and that includes a rally scheduled for tonight in Central Florida. Trump was to speak at Orlando Sanford International Airport, but that event is canceled. Trump tweeted just after midnight that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus and are in quarantine together. A friendly reminder from Florida's top elections official.
If you're not already a registered voter and you want to vote in November's election, the deadline to register is October 5th, next week.
Florida Secretary of State Laurel Lee says there are a number of convenient ways to register to vote, including going online to registertovoteflorida.gov. That planned rally in Sanford had drawn the ire of a Central Florida Congresswoman. Democrat Stephanie Murphy said thousands would be rallying in support of a president who is trying to take away their health care. And Murphy says the president's nominee for the Supreme Court could be the vote that overturns critical parts of the Affordable Care Act. As Florida enters phase 3 of coronavirus reopening plan, more medical centers report a decline in hospital admissions.
We are continuing to see decreases, really slow decreases in our census. We're about a third of where we were at our peak in July.
But Advent Health epidemiologist Dr. Vincent Hsu says people cannot let down their guard. He says mask wearing, social distancing, and frequent hand washing must continue to be routine until a vaccine can be distributed. Now, lastly, 3 people thought to be a father and 2 siblings were arrested Wednesday afternoon following an apparent distraction burglary, according to affidavits in the Martin County Sheriff's Office. Tom Bimbo, age 56, of Cleveland, Ohio, and Fort Lauderdale residents Nico Giglio Thompson, age 28, and John Eric Thompson Jr., age 29, were arrested on single counts each of occupied burglary and grand theft in connection with the incidents. The arrest came after a woman told sheriff's officials that 2 men, later identified as the Thompsons, entered her home under the presence of workers needing to fix her fence. The woman said Nico Thompson told her to have the home to inspect the area and that she followed Thompson out. John Thompson told her to remain with him while Nico Thompson went to talk to her husband inside. Nico Thompson then is accused of going into her bedroom and taking jewelry, including about 10 rings, a necklace, a bracelet, a jewelry box. The value of the taken property was about $2,000. The 3 were held Thursday in the Martin County Jail, each on $90,000 bond, a jail official said. The Atlanta Falcons will allow some fans to attend games starting on October 11. So how will they safely and thoroughly clean the stadium in the middle of a pandemic? They could have workers carefully wiping down each of the 71,000 seats, or they can have a couple of drones flying over the seats, spraying them down like crop dusters. And the Falcons are trying the latter. They posted a video of a drone cleaning the seats, and it looks cool. 2 drones will be used to disinfect the stadium's seating bowl, handrails, and glass partitions. The drones will allow for a 95% reduction of the time needed to clean the seats. News time is 8:46. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
8:47 the time right now on the Fun Friday edition of the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, no accidents. Just keep in mind we do have some flooding in some areas in Martin County and in St. Lucie County. Of course, in White City and St. Lucie County, the area from Midway Road from US 1 all the way to 25th Street, and in that area, definitely some flooding. Take an alternate. And Canner Highway in Stewart also, there were areas of flooding recorded, and just try to take an alternate instead of Canner. There's your latest look at traffic. And right now we have 75 in Stewart. In Elmira, New York this morning, partly cloudy and 48. Here's our forecast, WPTV.
Happy Friday, my sunshines. Temperatures this morning starting off in the low to mid 70s. A few showers and a couple of thunderstorms possible for that morning drive. Highs today in the low 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and another round of scattered showers and storms. Some of those storms could produce locally heavy rainfall. Tonight, mainly dry with temperatures in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms possible with rounds of heavier rainfall. Highs in the low 80s, but feeling like the upper 80s. A flood watch remains in place for St. Lucie and Martin counties until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
8:52 on the Get Up and Go Show. It's the Fun Friday edition, Bonnie. And if you thought our show was riveting, well, let me tell you, there's another show that's going to be coming up here in the 9 a.m. hour. It's called Priest and a Rabbi. I've been producing their show for about 9 months now, but they've been on this station, it seems like eternity. Many, many years. And of course, Father Christian is just checking in as well. But since Father Christian is late to the party, we'll say, we're just going to talk to the rabbi for a moment and find out what's on tap for Priest and Rabbi. So Rabbi Durbin, we say top of the morning, happy belated happy holiday. And what's on tap for the show today?
Yeah, we're super excited. We have a special guest joining us today. We have Reverend Steve Miller, who's going to look at love and compassion. What can we do in this country to help us heal? What are our impacts? What can we do as individuals and as communities to be able to start the healing process?
And that's really important in these trying times right now, with everything that's going on with COVID, everybody being cooped up in their homes. There's not enough empathy in the world today, Rabbi, is there?
There is not. There is not.
I love that one. I love that. Love the one word answer.
We're going to change it. We're going to change it today.
Father Christian, good morning, Father Christian. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I just love listening to the Rabbi just do the teaser, and it's really one of the things he loves doing the most as a co-host of this radio show.
Definitely. So I would agree. So make sure, folks, and tune in today at 9:06. A priest and a rabbi and a priest, whichever way you want to consider it, with their guest, Mr. Steve Miller. He's going to be on the program, and they'll be talking about all sorts of things. You don't want to miss it. It's riveting radio at its best, entertaining radio at its best, and it's all going to be happening at 9:06 this morning. Rabbi and of course Father Christian, thank you guys so much for hopping in. We'll let you guys carry on with your conversation to prep for your show, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Mazel tov. All right, very good. Anyway, as we carry on, Bonnie, what are you doing this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Going to Hokkaido restaurant.
Oh, man.
Yes, and
excellent.
I can't wait to give Topanga her birthday gifts. And, since we're on Facebook and just kind of like everywhere now, I can't, reveal what I got her.
No, because you never know. Topanga could be watching the show.
Yeah, and, she is turning 15 this October.
Oh, that's a deadly age.
And she's even on Facebook now, so
Oh, boy.
I can't even, post what I bought her yet on
Oh,
Facebook
boy.
like I used to. And
Oh, boy.
so, because that social media is just everywhere. But we're going to be like social butterflies this weekend, and Gary taking us all to Hokkaido.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good time for sure.
Gary better get some good tips today while he's working, because man, that wallet's got to get nice and fat for 6 people.
Sometimes it is.
It's about
but
the average meal there is anywhere from $21 to about $26, $27, plus your beverages and any appetizers.
And the ones that we order, it gets roughly to be in the $40 to $45 because of the lobster and the steak we like to order with the fried rice.
Okay.
And but the food is so good and the show is good, so it's.
But you know what the
worth
best part about it is? It's the yum yum sauce.
It is.
Do you know you can buy that, Bonnie?
No.
You can get it at Walmart. They have it on the shelf.
I saw you at Walmart yesterday.
I know. They have it. They have it on the shelf there.
Yeah, you can get yum yum sauce, and you can get the ginger, the ginger dressing too.
Yeah, I'm not a
serve.
big fan of the ginger on the salad. I'd rather have the yum yum sauce on the salad.
The yum yum sauce, and once in a while, I like the ginger with maybe some iceberg lettuce and carrots, like they serve up carrots.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit of onion in
Yeah,
there.
their spring rolls are very good also.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And the sushi,
Yes.
sushi I like
I'm not
too.
a big sushi fan now. Don't get
I
me
know.
wrong. I'm not a big sushi fan.
Oh, I love the sushi with the ginger and the hot wasabi and then to drink it all down with some hot sake.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You're gonna do some sake, huh?
I don't know.
Oh, you gotta just do like just a little.
Maybe
I don't drink alcohol. That's just by choice. So I don't know what sake tastes like.
I don't either because Evan, I've
You
never
will
tried it.
You will know. I guarantee you, Gary. I'm gonna have a conversation with Gary.
Isn't it like a white rice wine or
I don't
something
know.
like that? But he's tried it before because Ram is just like he likes to really pour it down the patrons' mouths and throats.
Just drowns
So I
you.
guess if Ram offers me a little, I'll have to drink some.
I mean, you be careful because Ram is known for he'll take that bottle and he'll squirt it down your mouth and he'll wait till it just starts dribbling out of your mouth until you're maxed out to capacity.
Yeah. And then it's not only a show for your own table with Ram, but it's like a show for the entire room when you're there.
Everybody else gets to see.
He'll go to other tables
yeah.
too and entertain.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And be so giving with that sake. They must go through like 3 or 4 bottles of it every time.
Easily.
Every time that Ram is working as the chef.
Easily they do
Yeah.
that. Easily they do
So
that.
giving.
So that's what's on tap for you this weekend. Me, I don't have anything planned. I'm just going to kind of like chillax. I'm going down to get some new eyeballs today because my eyes, I just realized that it's been a year and a half since I've had my last eye exam.
Yes.
So I have to go down to my buddy, my business partner for my entertainment company. He also has an eyeglass store as well, and he has an eye doctor in his eyeglass store. So I'm going to go down and get my eyeballs examined because this computer screen in front of me has been blurry, and I can't understand why. So I said, Russ, can you pull my last eye exam for me? And he pulled the paper, and it was from March of last year. So that's 18 months. So I'm overdue. No wonder I'm blind.
There could be a change in your eyesight. Maybe
Yeah.
you might need a stronger prescription. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm not an eye doctor, but it's good to get them checked every year.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
You know what that music means, don't you?
The weekend is here.
The weekend's officially here.
Yeah.
And, the week just blew by.
It did.
It's literally blown by completely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of fun on the show this week.
Yeah.
More fun than we deserve.
Yeah, a little noggin knocking. Next week, we're going to taste Jelly Belly beans and dog food in studio. That should be interesting. And Phil's taste test will be here as well.
I might have a Jelly Belly, but I don't think I'm going to taste any dog food.
Well, maybe those dog treats that Phil had.
Maybe there'll be a dog treat in the Jelly Bellies.
There you
they're
go.
making them every which way they can under the sun.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
We say chow mein.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty folks, be kind to one another. Please do that.
Try to stay dry this weekend. Hope you don't have to build an ark.
Have a great day, folks. That's a wrap for us. We'll see you Monday morning, 6 a.m. right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Bye-bye for now.